So is all there in front of you. How much are you willing to give?
The stage is set for the final two matches in Group C. Fox is your host of Scotland against Brazil. Morocco Haiti is available right now on Ticketless. And we are here in Miami. It is the decisive day for Group C. We are about to see alongside me. We know that this Scotland team have been incredible off the pitch, but on the pitch they have so much more to give Tito, but can they do it in the game of their lives?
So different throughout every game they play. Now if they find the form they had in the game against Morocco the last 10-15 minutes, they have a chance against Brazil today. So that's a big call.
I mean, we guys put on the only way to gain momentum to a very good and passionate team like Scotland is just scoring as soon as you can. So that's the only way that you can do it, or maintain the position, like be dominated over there. But yeah, like Peter said, for Scotland, they need to do something that they've never done before.
Fantastic. I have the pleasure to play against him, and it's one of those. When you play against him, you know you're playing against him, and you think about him. But he's not in that team, but they've got good strikers in that team. We mentioned Cunha before the game, before the break. Cunha is an incredible goal, and he's got a chance now to make a name. Better name in Manchester United now. He gets the chance to make a big name on the big stage for Brazil today.
Yeah, definitely. And then as well, we have Vinicius Junior, no? With 2 goals in 2 games, scoring in each. And then the last one, we are providing like assists as well. Really see that he is not very good player. At 19 years old, very well. To have this opportunity to have his first start in a World Cup, giving the chance at least on Michael
Please remain standing with your neighbor for the playing of the national anthem of Brazil.
FIFA World Cup 2026 on Fox is presented by Blaze.
The Dark Army on the march in Miami, and a riot of colour and a fevered atmosphere for what could be a nail-biter in Group C. The officials making their way to the centre spot. Brazil and Scotland, like two stars in the same orbit, meeting for the 5th time at the World Cup. Brazil still not through the knockout stages as we look at the VAR team led by Guillermo Pacheco, and Scotland dreaming of what has to be really one of their greatest ever performances to go through. Line-up starting Steve Clark on this D-Day for his team, making 4 changes. The speedy winger Ben Gallagher is recalled along with striker Aaron Chapman, while Scott McKenna and Kevin McGrain get their first World Cup starts. That means no places for Hanley, Adams, Denny and Christie. 546 caps between them. They're not short of experience. And here's the Brazil team. The Christians were trying to come back in the feeling after a while with a hamstring injury. The 19-year-old Ryan of Bournemouth becomes the first teenage World Cup starter in over half a century. Otherwise, the 17 which got City 3-0. Neymar, incidentally, is fit now and could feature from the bench. What an atmosphere here, London, isn't it?
Ian, I've been around this game my whole life. I have never seen anything like those two national anthems. This place is ready to explode, and it's both Scotland and Brazil fans leading the way. This should be a fantastic evening.
Steve Dock knows that Scotland in 12 big tournament appearances in their history have never advanced beyond the group stage. They have hopes of doing it here because they have 3 points. The start of the day, a point behind Brazil and Morocco. Carlo Ancelotti, who's won the lot everywhere he's been, except the World Cup. Could this be his year for that as well? All set to go in Miami. And the great Henry evening. And the noisiest atmosphere story of this World Cup so far. 65,000 fans packed in here, not a spare seat in the house. And Vinicius getting an early touch of the ball on the side. And Patterson, the right back, is really astounded because Aaron Hickey is not fit. That could be very, very important. He will need some support, won't he?
He needs a lot of support. He's playing one of the best players in the world. And Beijing, 2 goals in 2 matches so far, have certainly been the best Brazilian attacking player.
Referee, by the way, it's interesting here. Sousa Ramos of Mexico. Brazil made a complaint about him after one with Switzerland back in 2018. It was 8 years ago, I guess. We move on. Paquetá on the ball for Brazil. And a lot of pressure from Scotland. We know what it was. It's probably going to be enough for them. Probably staying maybe even a narrow defeat the way this competition is set up this year with 8 plus third places going through. We all want to rely on 3 points. Well, showing the clock, finding Jordan and in space. Really picked up by what we did in the box there. The referee Hughes pulled back the play and Lewis Ferguson is down injured.
Is it coming together here? Both teams asking for a foul. It's been a relatively fair challenge. Ferguson got the worst of it. And Ted Queen was all on the referee's face. I was actually surprised he didn't get a yellow there.
Yeah, and a lot to say for himself. I'm just thinking, that business with the referee, because he's aware of it, isn't he, as well? Referee Brazil here. Just one of the many subplots which will unravel today. Rayan. First 2 matches to start for Brazil since 1970. And the halfway period against Peru in the quarter-final. We saw an early touch from Vinicius. Brazil looking to move the ball quickly. Jack Lewis, a nifty footwork for Scotland. Beaten 1-0 they went by Morocco, having won their first game by a goal to nil against Haiti. That was a pretty close run thing in truth. For the mix in midfield today, veteran midfielder from Norwich City, who memorably scored from the halfway line to clinch the big win over Denmark that took Scotland to this World Cup. And that was the moment of his career, well, so far anyway. Scott McKinnon has been brought back into the side today. Patterson, Everton, Randall's old club. Got a handshake and a hug from your old boss, David Moyes. Yeah, good to see. Ferguson. They trying to hit that one just round the corner. They do need to have more punch, Scotland. They knew going into this tournament it was the problem. Can they find the goals that might put them in business in a mountainously tough game like this? Get a low by Robertson. Giroux for Brazil in a falling behind, but there's no actual number 9, not a real number 9 in the old-fashioned sense of the word, and maybe that would have been the kind of territory an old-fashioned number 9 would have been hunting in. He brought Thiago Brentford in the first game, and he's been dispensed with since then. Here's Rayan again. Made back by Cunha, who got a couple of goals. He's first in the World Cup against Haiti the other day. We're 3-0 up at half-time and kind of sat on it really, truth to tell. This is Gabriel of Arsenal. To Marquinhos of Paris Saint-Germain. On paper, that looks a pretty good central defence to me. But we'll find out for sure in the next week or two.
It's interesting with and without the ball, Matheus Cunha is coming into the midfield. Giroux a little bit higher, Paquetá a little bit higher, and they're looking to make vertical runs in there. They haven't seen it yet or hit it yet. But also, when they're defending a version of a 4-4-2 and a diamond in the midfield. Cunha is sort of at the top of the diamond, almost as an attacking midfielder. Probably where he's most comfortable.
He's happy to pull the possession better for the moment, Brazil. Are they looking to change the pace in centre of the attack? That's it. Williams and that got 30 yards. Good block, he's trying to bring it away. The little right winger for Scotland, Ben Garandot, who's only 20, he could be their trump card because he does have electric pace. He's raw still, but he does have that speed. And in football, speed kills.
It forces the Brazilian back line to be a little more hesitant, and it's probably why they haven't until now really pressed out the ball. But they can't just a poor decision by McKenna. Cuts perfectly for Villa Jr. And he has the composure. Instead of smashing this first time, takes a touch by Angus Gunn. The easiest goal in history. 1-0 Brazil.
Marines are going to do up the score in all 3 Brazil games so far in this fascinating race for the Golden Boot. Scotland conceded early again. Remember, Savali scored for Morocco against them in 70 seconds. Looks like the real face of the army for Scotland now.
I'm just telling you, that's the way Scotland started the game. We've seen so many teams be successful by being smart, careful, defending well, and you expected that from Scotland. This is the absolute worst case scenario. Now they have to chase the game again. We said a narrow defeat might be okay for them, but now it puts them under all sorts of pressure.
Yeah, they can't afford a heavy defeat, otherwise they're on the next plane out of here. One down already. You have to
see if Steve Clark's decision to change his central defensive pairing hasn't paid off. Maybe McKenna a little out of rhythm. Haven't seen any action this World Cup so far. Grant Hanley left out today. Usually partners Henry in that defence. And here's McKenna on the ball now. Has to somehow get his confidence back. He is experienced. This is his 51st cap. You do feel for him. Horrible for any player. But this is a harsh environment. And the psychological toll that takes on your team is very real. Now there's hesitancy, there's fear. And Brazil, on the other hand, be absolutely flying now. Brazil, after an unconvincing start, maybe it's just looking to build momentum. Here's John McGinn. If anybody can do something about it, maybe it's him. Confident character from Aston Villa, who definitely has goals in him, especially at international level. It's Hendry. Now Kane looking just a little period of possession, maybe, to help Scotland settle. Danilo. Kenya now. Moving short with the Diaz. Blocks this time by McKenna. That might make us feel a little better. Maybe not much. Billy Jr.'s movement there was so good. He went 3 different ways, 3 different times in a row, and was waiting for the ball to be slid alongside the center backs. They didn't find him, but really good movement from him. Amazing development in the other game in the group. Morocco are losing to Haiti, who scored and lead 1-0. Here from the level Marcin Wenger on the V-Live page, and you can see Ronaldo there was on that tall tackle here today, and Roberto Carlos, who played for Brazil last time they met Scotland at the World Cup. Going to hit that day. John Collins equalised, but Brazil won thanks to an own goal saved from Tommy Boy. To stop him. And that's the kind of thing Scotland need. Qatar was strong, wasn't he, there under pressure? Could it be with Brazil? Maybe one of those teams who start the tournament slowly and then build momentum and hopefully have a crescendo in the final itself. Remember, they haven't won the World Cup 5 times winners, but not since 2002. None of the last 5.
They've had to deal with adversity already. Rodrigo couldn't make the tournament. And then Rafinha getting injured in the first match. They do have a lot of great options. He's chosen right out on that side tonight, but cannot give them goals. If you're going to give them goals, they're a very good, experienced team, especially defensively. It's going to be very hard to beat if you're giving away chances like that.
He hasn't played for Brazil for nearly 3 years. Half injuries kept him out of this tournament so far. First time the Scotland fans a little stunned. We heard the swirl of the bank lights all around Boston. The people of Boston fell in love with the Scots, and even talk about cities being proud.
Newcastle and Boston, maybe even the Patriots going to play in Scotland. Who knows? Lovely to see them. Certainly the people of that fair city will be rooting for Scotland here, but they've got a lot on their plate. Casemiro. That's the play. Danilo. Casemiro again. Vinicius Junior, by the way, the first Brazilian player to score in all three group stage games since both Rivaldo and Ronaldo did it. When Brazil won the World Cup in 2002, also Romario, who's another young man, Jairzinho, scored every game in the World Cup, 1970, including the final. How about that? It's Shinton. Scotland fans are expected quite keen to see him back in the team. He doesn't like the goal. 20 goals or so this past season for Hearts, and he's moving to Rangers. Find a football in the game after that traumatic start of proceedings. And then we'll go back to Alisson. Lovely feature if you were with us before the game about his, the way he idolises Brazilian legendary goalkeeper Tafarel. 3 World Cups apiece now for those two. Later on the Fox networks, Group A concludes with Group B and Mexico taking on Tokyo on Fox, and South Africa, who are out other than South Korea. Fox Sport 1 is coming up next on Fox and Fox Sport 1. The clock is ticking all the time at this World Cup. There will be a few twists and turns along the way. But not here so far. Gilbert Santos in that left back position, recalled after 9 years away. There's always hope, isn't there? Marquinhos. Brazil got some possession. And with no pressure on them at all with the lead. Lower pocket is so skinny there. Danilo deflects the long way. Here's Vinicius Junior taking pass and he's set to the good right there. And good.
Excellent defending by Patterson. This has good patience from Brazil. And ultimately they find Cunha who can turn and face forward and start the attack. Cross gets deflected, comes over to Vinny Jr. This is a really good job by Patterson to move his feet. Gives away the corner, but still a good result.
The need to go in there and remind everybody of the rules. And can't get that, they know what the rules are. Don't do that with any other situation in the game. It's going to be the very probably where Scotland will do in the first half. There we are. Not second line. Scotland can counter here. Here is Devon Goat. McKeon. Big star in Italy now for Napoli, won the title last season. Was that? That's the one projected well. And Brazil quickly put into it as Vinicius Junior again. certainly wanted that at the knockout stages. It's a big miss, really.
Scotland need to get Scott McTominay involved. He had his first few touches there a long time and turned the ball over. He's a big player for their name, and if they want any chance putting this Brazilian backline under pressure, he needs to get involved. He's got a lot of quality.
That's fabulous overhead. Kick ball past Casper Schmeichel. Straight to his little strike. We're sorry to remember the half-beat Denmark and a goal in the million, really, that was. Scotland might need something like that here. Gabriel. And Vinicius. It's a good ball here for Ryan. Hendry will run all that well and gets it away.
Running by Bruno Guimaraes has been so good. He's running vertically through the Scottish back line. That time it opened up a massive hole for them, to get forward. They're starting to figure out this Scottish defense now, and they're looking more and more dangerous every time they get in these spots.
Can you get that? Says Patterson to his goalkeeper Angus Gardner, who plays for Scotland but hardly got a look in this season for Nottingham Forest. One substitute appearance in the Premier League all season. And he admits he was probably not the greatest thing to go. Oh, as he
just gets his foot in front of Hendry's foot. You could argue possibly it's a foul. Not good on the field, and he's not getting this from there. 2 meters in.
What interesting thing right there is he tried to grab Vinicius round the waist and bring him down, but failed to do it. Had he done that, it would have been a red card for him, I think.
And they're going to check it now.
He's checking the goal. Just bringing Mark Cranmer now, refereeing expert. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, if you look at the goals to ground, they're simple, it's an easier big foul to do. Because when Shakira definitely catches the Scottish defender's foot, Henry, and therefore it is a foul, technically it's a foul, because it's an extremely foul, I think it's where it got chalked up.
Yeah, I agree. I used to do this all the time. Center backs, I did it when they were running towards their goal. Trying to get away with it. That was before the VAR days. So if you got away with it, you got away with it. But I tend to agree with Mark. I do think he's going to get a foul here and hold the ball at the
Yeah, I think he just does catch his foot when you watch that carefully back again. And I think Scotland and Jack Hendry are going to get off the hook here. It might not be a turning point. It is really as a foul. Let's keep going on the start. Let's watch this in slow motion now. Mark, would you like that? Yeah, I think it's completely. Brazil by a goal to them, and it could be worse, but I have the benefit of that VAR decision in their favour, but he's still questioning this. This break might come at the perfect time for Scotland.
They need it, and I'm sure Steve Clark is telling his team, cut out a couple of passes throughout the back. You have time further up the field, it's fine. Do not give them chances to press us and ultimately score goals like that. Give yourself a chance. You give yourself no chance when you're doing that. So I'm sure you have to use certain words in Brazil. They created a whole ton in, but took advantage of one mistake, and they've been solid always.
Scotland trying to work from the centre. Andy Robertson just wanting a reminder about where they play, where we should. It's quite a hard place or time to stop the game, this real attacking situation like this long throw coming in for Scotland. And that is more for a reason. So it's leaving Liverpool and probably at the Tottenham Hotspur for the season. After 9 great years at Anfield, and he's a much loved figure. Lewis Ferguson with a corner kick for Scotland. And fans at the other end of the stadium expectant. Towards the back post and picking up clean shot we got on yellow. Now John McGinn. This is a big chance and I'm not sure I heard it back down across the goal. Fantastic ball from John McGinn. See as it comes in. It's a pretty header. It just tries to cushion it down across the goal. It's a head on goal down. Any of time. Ferguson advances football in Italy, but along here is the captain. I wonder what Steve Clark as well as in that way. Whatever you mentioned first, you need to get quickly improved there. Tomorrow on Fox, the US going green out so far, facing Turkey in their efforts to win all 3 group stage matches. Coverage 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. Soon, in the knockout stages. First on the round of 42. It's injury again. We've been very relieved that VAR came in his favour. Whatever he felt about VAR before, he loves it now. He's McTominay. Goes down, plays at the referee, his shot again. Robson to his outside, looking to the left hand of the ball. And the corner to Scotland who are just showing signs of a pulse in this match.
Much better, they got McTominay on the ball facing forward, he creates a little space. Let's say it falls to John McGinn. He slides in Robertson down the right side of the earth. Initially, appealed for a few people, and then smiled and knew it wasn't, but much better from Scotland now. And I saw this on the last quarter, put the players in front of Robertson, right at the top of him, Shelburne, and one other. I'm actually surprised they didn't put it right on top of the goalkeeper. Maybe they will this time. Now they've got 4 crowd in there. What they can't do is pass off the goalkeeper, because that will be good back.
They are being dangerous. 15 feet to the front post.
Coleman again. Patterson. And they find a way through. Stand at least. There's only 1 or 2 more. for Scotland, the throw of them.
You see that little net behind the leg here from McIntyre. Get the ball in. Like you said, whatever Steve Clark said during the break, certainly lit a fire. This has been much better now from Scotland. He's really caused a bit more discomfort for the Brazilian defence on these set pieces. He's a wonder first header and he got the free kick as well, so it comes to nothing. Again, I think Lewis Ferguson can be a little more aggressive. You put Lyons up in the outside, I think I'm going to put Lyons in there. And just make it a little too easy for Brazil to defend those corners. Wilson on the header. Matt Kenny has a long head in midfield. With Nathan who steps in the curtains. Not Nathan Patterson. Really got down back into the game yet, but here he is. He's done well this time. I'm really doing it. No. Champions League winner as player and manager. And the only manager to win all 5 of Europe's top leagues. That's achievement. There's such a bad foul by Lewis Ferguson there. You've got Vinny Jr. running back towards his own goal. Pressure on him. You foul him and now you relieve all the pressure from Brazil. They've been under it for the last few minutes. Remembering the big picture, even a 1-0 defeat, which is where we are at the moment, might just be enough for Scotland to sneak a position as one of the 8 best third-place teams. Union with a lovely spin behind, and the right hand. He is defending the ball well, but the left hand from Scotland, a big shot the goal. Wales convinced they should have been a corner kick. But I wonder what that was. The only one who was there was only going for the attacking side. Captain Joe. Sometimes in the referees will do is instead of giving a foul, which I think he could have given a foul by Rayan against the Scottish defender, he just decided to give a goal kick. So he's net saying out there. Clearly not a goal kick. Yeah. Shankly with some good work there. McLean Zepper charged down. Ferguson as well. And the probably taking with you, you might as well buy a lottery ticket. Just starting to usher Brazil out of their slammer. McTominay. A skip ball. Not quite. Easy coming by Marquinhos and shooting. That made a good run. What Scotland can't afford is any more mistakes. Douglas Santos. Vinicius is enjoying being reunited with Carlo Ancelotti, isn't he? He's over Real Madrid coach. Vinicius. A little box every time he gets the ball, and all the Brazilian fans. Every time they try to That's a really poor decision by them. They had 3v3 and 4v3. Needed to find one more pass. Could have been in a much better spot. James Gordon on the Travis Crew will be on Fox tonight. I might be wrapping today's World Cup action with special guests Aaron, Rebecca Lowe and Virgil van Dijk on Fox at midnight. Keeping Rebecca busy. We had it on the podcast this morning. She is busy now. It's Ferguson. Simply, Robertson, Bennington wants it back again. Still hits it slightly. Maybe it's number 3. Morris, the Brazilian Ronaldo. Golden Boot winner in 2002 with 8 goals. Plus a few more games to stumble, one more anyway to win the World Cup. So maybe 12 for Ray Messi and Mbappe and Holland are going to make it 14. And Cristiano Ronaldo is joining the party, isn't he now? It's Adriel and Vinicius is, that's what he was saying the other day in the interview. Cunha now for Brazil. Leading on goal today, an early goal from Vinicius Jr. So half point by schedule. Morocco equalised and the other game is still going on at exactly the same time. That's 1-1. And the pass ball in. There's the standings as it stands. If the results want to hold now, Brazil top the group, and that's what they usually do at World Cups. They've won the last 11 groups that they've been in at the World Cup, and they've advanced from the group the last 14 World Cups, going back to 1966, when a few people got the idea of kicking the heck out of the tournament, and they succeeded. He's trying a lot of things to improve with the yellow and red cards. It just wouldn't happen now. You get away with it. It's hard to say it was back then. The fans can relax at the moment. We'll get coming up to these at half-time show on Fox. Comfortable enough so far for the Brazilians. As comfortable as it can be when the margin's only one. Couple of feet away, but clever. Was never any conviction about it, Ian. He sort of last minute said, alright, well, I guess I'll shoot. Never got it out of his feet because of that. Shoved it wide. Did I say a couple of feet? A couple of yards, isn't it? Yeah. This is going to be broken behind. This one is slowing the defense up clearly enough. And been pretty running. He only started one game all through the season. He scored more than that was in the league. Dark injuries affect him down, of course. So he started more games in this World Cup than he did for start all through the past season. Santos trying to Vinicius again. it's a free kick. Usually lets the referee know what he feels. Vinicius coming back, has a conversation with him. Still going on. Pleasant enough. A bit of game action going on here by Brazil. They know they have the lead. Meanwhile, Italy scored again in the second half. And look up 2 goals for 1. Extraordinary. Well, unfortunately for Scotland, they lost to Morocco, so they would need to win the game to finish second. So even if they equalize, that wouldn't put them in second, but of course it would put them in a great spot to qualify as third. And 4 points would do it. They're a long way from achieving anything like that. 20 to midnight in Scotland. Not many people, I think, will have gone to bed. I think they've even let the kids stay up for this in Glasgow and Edinburgh and Aberdeen and Dundee. Stroud on the sky. And speaking in the end, this is yet to pick it up again. He's in the throw. He's nearly touching it again. Cunha, causing problems. This comes off a more direct ball through the middle there. Then he picks up the pieces, runs into depth here, and somehow Ferguson all the way back on his line. Patterson was there as well, but big bullet dodge there for Scotland. Great work by Lewis Ferguson, central midfield man to beat back there. Now watch go again. McIntyre, the releases again. Scotland will need to sharpen their teeth in this game to get back into it. There's really a situation where everybody's checking their smartphones, see what's going on in the underground. What might be enough to advance? Well, they just showed a score here, that Haiti scored to go up 2-1, and the Brazilian contingent very, very happy to see that. As I'm sure Carlo Ancelotti is. Well, I think Haiti played really well. Yeah, they sure have. They have. Tremendous performance from the country that haven't played at home for 5 years because of the problems in their own country. He's Ferguson again. Maybe we put in a bit of space there. Shelton here. Promising. And the directed man goes to the floor. Maybe the strong players appeal to that note. Shelton. They're putting his mind drop with John McGinn. He played a starring role as Aston Villa won the Europa League. He's Marquinhos, winner of course of the last 2 Champions Leagues with Paris Saint-Germain. Vinicius just got the free kick. And he's got to 2-2 in our game. It's Morocco 80 there. All happening there. Big swap here. Inside, that's going to turn and we will do that.
some very, very good clearance. Easy from really close. Brazil. Here's the kid. The Scotland, they need to show something. The sort of having none of it. Get the free kick here, but he's not traffic punches. The chemistry between Grundy Irish and Vinny Jr., they lock eyes. Vinny knew where the ball was going. Timed his run perfectly, started there, led to the far post. What a fantastic service from Irish. A simple header by Vinny to make it 2-0. Scotland in danger of getting out of this World Cup with a win. Andy Robertson. Take this one way back, and then Gavin looks like a really control of it, blocked. Then you'll be thinking about a hat-trick when you now, a World Cup hat-trick. Who's put in stylish display. Fantastic save by Gunn. Keeps his left hand strong and pushes it wide. Corner to Brazil. Goalkeeper looks like he was coming back and he didn't go for it. Douglas Santos there is blocked Scotland at the moment and Santos around. I think it's fair to say. I think they need this half time right now.
He's got 4 this tournament, 13 overall. Morocco Hayes had a fun one in Atlanta.
Back and forth, back and forth. And this is actually, you think it would be a goal for Lee Joseph, and this means it's a goal too, but looking at the actually is going out of bounds. It's off the goalkeeper's back. Goes in for the ball with you.
11th own goal this tournament for the European on the Olympics.
There's a key really around the box and scoring goal forward for this game.
His 12th international goal for his 99th international appearance, but as you mentioned, back and forth, which means she lead and another goal in the 43rd.
And this one is from downtown. He gets a turn on the season door and says, I'm just going to smack this one. And smacks it, he does. The upper 99. Goodness, look at this thing go. Yeah, we see you, my friend. We see you.
And then the old push forward story. He's massive ball scored his 3rd goal of the tournament for equalizing today. 4 goals in this one, tied for the most in the first half of this World Cup. So here's how the Group C currently sits. Brazil on top and Morocco in second. Both those teams, as of now, advancing. Scotland in 3rd place. Haiti kicking off the first. Mexico has secured the top spot in the A. Later tonight, they'll try to make it 3 straight wins as they take on China. Scotland is on second next. Greatness doesn't happen by chance.
send you now back out to Miami, Ian and Larry for the second half call.
Yeah, thanks so much indeed, Rob. And one of the little subplots here is Scotland's position at the moment. They are among the 8 best third places that will go through the round of 32. In fact, they are 6th on that list, but there are teams below them who can improve their position, and they need to improve their own position here now, don't they, really?
Yeah, it's important to remember that 1 goal moves them up to 4th, and 2 goals moves them to the top of that, even though they finished 3rd on 4 points, so they moved up to the top of that list. So there's still a lot to play for, but it's a precarious position because the more they go try to get that goal, the easier it is for Brazil to counter. And if they leave big spaces in the back, this Brazilian team will kill them. So they've got to be smart and do it in a mature way.
I wonder what Steve Clark, the Scotland manager, said at half-time. It would have needed to be something inspirational. They need to produce a special 45 minutes here, error-free, and they need to somehow beat the shuffles on this man, Vinicius Junior. Scoring against Brazil isn't easy, and you got a hat-trick against them. Jacksonville,
Scotland. Brazil, I did score against Brazil.
against Scotland.
Yeah, and I did score in the Confederations Cup final, right?
You did.
So like this, Brazil. You've already got them,
Continues on here. And started the last game of the Celtic play. Watson, the captain, who's cut off the Kenya Adventures' usual spot at left back is to put a little further forward in the last game.
You have to assume some sort of injury, right? And you can't imagine taking any Robinson off at this point.
You would think so. You might find out a little bit later about that. It's up to Rich Shelton. He's right to keep possession for his team up the pitch. Now it's John McGinn. His team is first involvement. And a lot of the fans, they really asked him as well as left here in TV. He's so grounded and ego-free. He even turned up with his kids in his shopping bag one day. They were cheap trains. Brazil all set to top this group as Marcos Sacco goes in the second half of their game for West. Scotland bounce back here. Agatha Vinicius Junior.
So just going back, I'm going to tell people I scored a hat-trick.
Really believe you, man. On the dark side, he was wrong. He's captain there, who could be playing regularly in this game. Where is he? Will be joining into Miami. Still plenty of life. That is very much a key figure of this Brazil side since Ancelotti got the reins.
It's really important how they play and just sits in front of the 2 center backs. Deals with all sorts of situations. Puts out fires constantly and he's got a note. The conduit to their attack. He's been very good tonight again.
Brazil showing here as one of the top always. T-shirts all bringing back sound in January. McKenna and Hendry will have to feed it backwards around the scrum. Brian was a struggling goalkeeper as well, and Norwich City stalwart of old.
Respect to that point, you have to say over the last several World Cups, a bit of the problem with Brazil has been almost a Swiss cheese-like defense at times with big holes, and now they just seem so solid and very comfortable sitting in their half.
And when they don't have the ball, they're looking very, very hard to get it back. Tierney will do it.
From the Scots. A little one inside there for Brazil. This is a fantastic ball. Bends around the center backs. And Tommy arrives late into the box. Portugal just hits it right into Alisson's waiting hands. Much better than Scotland.
Able to send the Tartan army home, at least proud of the performance. I think some of the Scots fans thought their side could actually win this game. But they did want a positive performance from the team. I don't think they really got it in the first half, if we're being brutally honest. Too many errors. Away from the Fox network, dominated in Mexico, Czechia, South Africa against South Korea, Fox Sports 1. Hendrick is well enough there. Coming up next, those games, Shingo Pay. Tommy Heller was the first ever on target 200 minutes for Scotland since McGinn's goal against Haiti. Yeah. It's an issue. Continues to be one. Patterson's goal is only Hapkins run in there. Do you think they play with a little bit of an inferiority complex here?
It does feel like it. There's also an element in it's emotional. These tournaments are emotional. To do it 3 times in a row. Haiti is a good team, by the way. Against 3 good teams is very difficult.
Pitches down the lovely goal. And that was a peach of a pass from Pakistan to Bondi. He keeps losing that defense, doesn't he?
And then just made a couple of those runs here in the first half. He was waiting for the ball and just slid alongside the center back. And that time, Pakistan, perfect weight. He just couldn't get enough on it to slide past it. He just got lost in the well.
Sending the defenders out for a couple of cocktails, they say. Tierney with the cross forward. Talented player, Tierney. Seeing they have good crossing over from Montana a few moments ago. That is a let off, but all the credit in the world to Angus Gunn for saving that. Because I really do think that would have been curtains for Scotland if it went to 3. McTominay, Patterson looks for 1-2, still moves to the back, Patterson goes down, with the right side. Good movement over with the right back, joining the attack.
Yeah, it's actually remarkable.
It is. dangerous again. Stand the palm, he's going to want to go.
I think he might know that stat about Pelé. He wants to equal the other legend.
Harry, 6 hat-trick and 34 hat-tricks. Married players from all nations in the lifetime,
Including one by Brazil's nemesis, Argentina's Lionel Messi this time.
Yep. Something running all right. He's on several others. Wonder whether Dennis Thunder with Germany might be this year's Toto Scalacci, coming on us from Norway. Mr. on the mark 3 times already. Here's Kenny McLean. Clearly, they are going to need rubbish from midfield, something to surprise Brazil.
Well, it's all just a bit slow if I can use another 3 analogy because I'm hungry. A little bit of circle. It's just kind of jumping from side to side as opposed to cutting through it like this.
Anderson to Shankland. Good morning. Good story. And looking at the game, running a penalty in the game. And Mexico plays. Not in touch. Well, this one's going to be interesting because it looked like there was certainly contact there. He's pretty resolute in it. Calling Mark Clayton there. What do you think there, Mark?
I think once he goes inside, he does feel a little bit of contact, and then he throws himself to the spot. Football's a contact sport, and I don't think that contact justifies a penalty.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, seeing it again. The first glance when you saw it, there was certainly contact, but not enough there to warrant penalty.
And I think the appeal was sort of half-hearted as well, which is always a bit of a giveaway. He's the experience they need to solve the right back position problem. And now looks to use his pace. Kenny was just caught a little bit by the trailing boot there of Ryan, but that's nothing of it. Scan the QR code on the screen to look for the Nicole ultra superior player of the match. Man in possession now with Vinicius. Vinicius carried on with the run. That's reminiscent of 1 or 2 things we've seen in the past at the World Cup.
He was anticipating right now continuing his run, but it almost felt for Vinny Jr. if he had just laid it off behind his leg. Vinicius Jr. had a whole goal to look at, and likely would have sealed his hat-trick.
That now is quiet as I've known them. Mostly behind the goal to the left. Hansen Finger there. Hansen Ronaldo. They would quite like to sign him, wouldn't they? Everyone here. Would you like to party as well, from what I've heard? Wouldn't be the only footballer that heard that was true. Certainly not the one in Brazil. Exactly. Well, he was there when it matters, as we've seen countless times. Here's Danilo. Now Reina. I'm not sure if the English family wearing that famous shirt in the World Cup age 19. Just imagine. Lovely idea. Just about to do something for Danilo.
Here's that ball by Paquetá, rolled right down the side of Scottish center back. Zidane just can't get enough on it. Ultimately, really good save by Ingolstadt.
You were so good for those, don't you? Perfect weight. Dropped in behind Ryan. Then inside, and a brilliant shot He's blocked. And then back to down. Gets him all out of his feet and then puts it a long way wide. He's kicking himself. It was his first touch. Can't make the chance go away. The Scotland fans winning things everywhere they go. Which is true in Germany. We just need a bit more from the players. What's Scotland do here? Yeah, manipulating a goal difference of -2 and 3 points might just be enough.
Well, they do because they know -3 really hurts. -4 is probably a dagger. So you almost get the sense here that both teams would be content with this result in a weird way. But like I said, it's a precarious position because as they tire.
Just a modest celebration.
Just following up on the point about Stalin, that's the challenge, and they look like they were starting to get a little heavy leg. Some bigger gaps opening up. I think emotionally they attack, physically certainly they're drained. This has been a very difficult group to navigate.
They won't have that for them and roll back stiff or twist because I think 3 points and a -3 goal difference. And it's still been technical hard really on their helps. Tierney, left inside. And that's the first yellow card to Danilo, who took Tierney out right on the edge of the box. Might be worth another goal. Was it just outside? Or was it on the line?
It appeared to be just outside, and it's a really bad tackle. As Tierney gets on the end of this, give and go.
Looks outside now, doesn't it?
Yeah, the hand is just outside, but with the tackle, even if it continues inside, it's still given outside, which only clearly that if it carries on inside, it's a penalty. So even that tackle starts outside, and even if it does carry on inside, it's still given outside the penalty area.
Yellow, Danilo. Can bring it up that either. Scotland needs something now. They really do. Attacking run. Where all those clean-shot defenders are gathered. The other one in there. Kilts. Representing the various clans of Scotland.
This needs to be hit hard.
That's exactly what Ferguson did. Took forward the ball. Anderson, they took the game as they were to the handle.
That's the right service. They just need a few Scottish players in front of him to screen him. It's a little too easy for him to see, but the right strike by Ferguson there. Or Patterson.
outside. He knew it, we knew it. There were about 65,000 witnesses.
You see it here. Good job by the Scottish back line. Keeping it offside. Tierney's been very good in getting the ball out of his feet and putting the Brazilian back line under pressure with those crosses. Tommy rose on that one. Headed it back where it came from. Allison down strong to his right to keep it out.
Down Doak hasn't really got anything, nothing away. Stolen with her. Brazil look pretty solid back there. Even when that Tommy young close though with his header.
Yeah, it's so hard for the bowlers. They're moving left across the ball to fight and get back to the right. But Tommy did the right thing. He headed back where it came from. Allison was up to the task.
Martinelli of Arsenal. He's about to get a round here. It's a pack of tires. Come off the fingers on for Casemiro as well. White switch. The youthful memory of Liverpool, of course. Lots of good games in the thereafter. He's McKenna, who's China really at the start of proceedings. Set starting an even bigger task than they had already. Looks like in 13 big tournaments they are ever going past the group stage, and they're still to do something about their goal difference in the closing stages here. Strong cover. Tierney. Brazil starting to look like quite a useful blend of silk and steel, aren't they?
Yeah, you asked me in the last game that we covered with Brazil, it's come a little too soon for Carlo Ancelotti, but it feels like every minute they get more and more comfortable, and they do have a lot of experienced players and a lot of flash and flair up the field and quality and efficiency up the field. And by the way, some good ones on the bench still, Hendrick, Neymar, of course, amongst others.
Right, you see him short now under Fabinho.
Really looking deep and bring Kenya, but it's really still a score.
So a little bit of a problem. They're not in play, I think, coming through this as the authentic number 9 as they did in the opening game. I prefer the extra movement that Kenya gives them. All this after Brazil were now dropped off only 5th on South American qualifying. The qualifying's one thing, the tournament itself strong another. You're starting to look pretty good here. And you can see one goal so far, one scored by Sargeli and Morocco. Brazil in the boxing here, 3-0 ahead. And very much the star of the show so far is Vini Jr. Scotland are looking at elimination. some long-street footballers will get them into the best eight places. But a lot of the teams below them are still playing at different games. They've got to make the goal difference down there. They're going to struggle and have a point or two more. So we'll see how it all pans out. We need to highlight Einstein. I think that's all it is. But it's interesting and a bit more interesting.
Well, they say in the World Cups that every goal is so crucial. Even if you don't win a game or you tie a game, every goal always matters. And it's exacerbated now with the expanded format. So many teams are going to get knocked out, probably by one goal, which is really a hard pill to swallow if you gave up a battle somewhere along the way.
Neymar is waiting to get the call from Carlo Ancelotti. He's looking longingly along the touchline towards Ancelotti's taking a swig of a couple of drinks. This is the kind of situation that really wanted to just doing the first taste of the World Cup action this year anyway.
And he is warming up now individually with performance, but by himself as the others are standing. So I assume he is coming in soon here. You know, I mean, it's not straightforward. I know people think it's anymore. Of course, you play with Carlo Ancelotti, there's a psychological piece too. There's other players on the team who have been around training, in qualifying. You're not just throwing him in. It's probably why you feel like from being on first. You have to really think about it. How it plays the rest of the team. They took a hit from the ground. He is getting ready to come up.
Champion and the final. It was really a moment for Scotland to make a go back, and they need to make a go back.
A big chance here from the tunnel. He's just had a poor night. He's got so much more quality than he's shown tonight. This is a top
One of the great stars of world football, Benoit Miller, is about to enter the stage. Neymar, a lot of people wondered whether he would even get picked. Ancelotti did pick him despite injury problems. He's never played in the quarter-final of the World Cup. He was injured for that semi when Germany thrashed Brazil 7-1 in 2014. About to play his fourth World Cup, topping the Brazil list of goal scorers in 79 and second on the list of appearance makers on 1-2-8, which is about to come 1-2-9. It's the first time that he will ever be a substitute at the World Cup. No surprise he would not be working for the starting lineup, but these are different guys. Martinelli, Vinicius again.
This is a weird comment to make, and I realize that as it comes out of my mouth, but this is a really important 20 minutes or so for Neymar, because yes, it's a nice appearance that he gets back in and the crowd will be happy, but can he become a real figure as they go forward and cause problems for other teams? Because what a substitute that would be to have come off the bench as you get further in the tournament.
Well, you have to believe, don't you, that Carlo Ancelotti believes he can still do it, and can still be a factor.
Yeah, he wouldn't have brought him otherwise. And this is a perfect situation to get him in and see how it goes.
Hasn't clearly done well in the second half since he came on. He really has nearly everything coming down that side. These fans don't want to see their team die in this World Cup without something of a fight. There's some big punch, good to see him. Once again, team cross. Again, will be paid by Brazil. That's going to feature Fabinho Eduardo,
still waiting. Been waiting for like 4 minutes. Here in Mark. Corner. Well, listen now, ladies and gentlemen. Quite the wrong. Now they'll be bringing on. Something of a sharpening up exercise. He's had a calf injury for the past few weeks. This is the first time he's actually been available to play. Fabinho. Going to the second place in the group. Impressed with the result today, haven't you? Yeah, I have. Let's be honest, Scotland gave away a couple goals, and I'd like to see what this match looks like without Scotland self-destructing in a couple moments. But Brazil has so much quality, they have been the best. Just started creeping in on his goal post. Corner. Just been too good. Neymar with the corner kick. McTominay got the header away. Ran, couldn't quite control it. Yeah, I thought he called. He turned him around for the free kick. By the way, the last time Scotland played Brazil, a 2-0 win for Brazil. Who got both the goals? Neymar. It's an interesting choice by him. He opens his hips as if he's going to go to the far post and closes the gate there, tries to beat Angus Gunn to his near post. He did a great job not messing that. Tomorrow on Fox, the US facing Turkey, and they make it 100% in that group. They could well. Our coverage begins at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Fox. Turkey already eliminated. Bit surprisingly, really. Okay. Neymar, the second one, back to his goal. Bruno Guimaraes. He's got 3 assists now. He's joint top of the assists total for this World Cup. Alexander Isak for Sweden, Michael Olise of France. We've done 2 of their games now, and it makes them dangerous, especially with Cunha. He comes into the midfield, makes it really uncomfortable for center backs and central midfielders to deal with. Then you've got Vinicius Jr. wide on one side, right on the other side. But Paquetá and Bruno Guimaraes are big keys for me is we're getting forward into the attack right away and a lot of quality in the box. good ball played across the goal now. Vinicius just got ahead of himself a little bit. Couldn't make good contact.
Ryan Christie there. And he's going to come on. And Anthony Ralston, the second right back. He's not the first choice right back. Europe has taken Patterson. It looks like he's got a bit of an arc. He had a horrid job today, really. Trying to look after Vinicius. And that's coming down goal. And the hopes that he might be a bit of a difference maker for Scotland, but it didn't really happen. Frustrated in his attempts to press it down the field. Nicely run, all past the window, very young back there. What he was doing, stop the attack without opening shot place. Still time for Scotland to sneak what might be a very important goal for them when the final mathematics are done in the third place countdown.
It's very true. As demoralized as they are right now, they need to hold it together for 10 minutes, not concede. And if you can find a way to get a goal, it could mean a difference.
Lewis Ferguson is going to take it. Christie going to get involved straight away. Lost his place in the starting lineup today. Another Bournemouth player at the World Cup. Sign of the times to qualify for Europe as well. McKeon now operating on that right hand side. McTominay. Again with yellow shots. Trying to press him out of possession. Very impressive. Christie wins it back post. Shepton's in there. Just a bit of a rust-shedding exercise for Neymar here. There might be more. We'll see. Brazil have always looked in control of this. And the winner of this group, that will be Brazil, will take a runner-up of Group F. Netherlands, Japan, or Sweden. The waiting room. The teams in that group will be thinking, well, we can't get Brazil next. To win the group. We're going to be intrigued as we go on. There's Martinelli. And Danilo Arias now from the Brazil fans, who can be very critical. It's a bit of a chaotic existence for the national team in Brazil. So much debate, so much interest, so much controversy all the time, so many expectations. Is this the team to kind of end the bad times? Hendrick Strange, that's okay. Brazil with another free kick. Nice one. That was shocking. Back defending that time. Did the job. Scotland
in terms of looking at each other, and Gabriel is thinking, I had a chance to score the World Cup there. Did too.
Like it has for that far post as well.
Yeah, good block.
I saw David sipping wine up there.
He has no play.
He's so classy. He doesn't drink beer when it comes to a football game. Sure, it's not cheap wine.
Well, you played with him.
Yeah. Members of cause. I never saw him drink.
No, he was playing, right?
Enjoying his life. As he should. Brazil, in truth, sauntering to victory here. Gabriel, the way it was. Neymar. James Courtney, after our drill, will be on Fox tonight. Another nightly round of today's World Cup action. Special guests Rebecca Lowe and Virgil van Dijk. That's on Fox midnight local. Scotland are going to bring on the young winger Finley Curtis, age 19, who's done work for Kilmarnock on loan this past season from Rangers, and he'll be back at Ibrox in the new season. Skips box one challenge. Starting to turn it on at times, Brazil, with their movement around the edge of that box has been a little too much for Scotland. Many times Scotland have foiled Brazil in the World Cup back in 74, a 0-0 draw in Frankfurt. And a very young Kenny Dalglish was playing. And he's not very well, and we wish him very, very well in his health battle. Still joint top scorer for Scotland in history, alongside the wondrous Phyllis Law. It's McKeon. Dug out across pretty well there. Lost and lost. Short as if he can get that goal that might just change the arithmetic for Scotland. Morocco now 4-2 up in that other game in Haiti, so they've improved their goal difference a little, but we need another 3. Getting in Brazil. Christian had a yellow card and he just come on. Neymar. With a free kick. Chance on the 6th, isn't it? Various wins and get a good wrong side. Neymar has it again. Well, deception, the umpire was going to flip it to the far post and stay after the shooting. Angus gun wasn't pulled back.
He covered that Barcelona game and we need 3 in the last 6 minutes against Paris Saint-Germain to turn the tie around. Neymar got the game by the strip of the neck, and in the next 6 minutes they beat it with 3 goals.
I think that'll happen here.
They don't need it, do they?
Showing it again, just a little excerpt of what he can do when he's fully sharp and at his best. Which won't be yet.
6 minutes of additional time here.
Adams and Curtis still waiting to come on. Shackleton is one of those two. No query. To get off the pitch, goes in 10 seconds from the time the ball goes up. And John McKinn too. Morocco now know it's not quite finished yet, but they're on their way into the round of 32 as well. Ferguson, not too tired. It's a very humid night here in Miami. Unsurprisingly, really, Taylor's long throw. Very good intervention. Free kick, Brazil.
Well, we're shaping up for a fantastic round of 32 matchup. If the results in the Netherlands group hold, it could be a Morocco-Netherlands round of 32 match. Tasty one there.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of tasty games up in because it goes to straight knockout of this group phase. Still not settled, is it? But you'd be a bit surprised if 3 points and a -3 goal difference would be good enough for Scotland. Fabinho. And one of the stories of this game, apart from the fate of Scotland, though, is Brazil are improving, I think, all the time now. Starting to find what you might call an ominous rhythm.
Real tiny and the best Brazil teams, yes, they're talented players, but they just look like a real team, a real committed group. And this group is starting to look like that. You have to put that down to Carlo Ancelotti. He's a master at that. And they look the part right now.
Yeah, I think he's really good at getting the mentality right for his teams.
And you couple that with great players, which they have. And that's a very dangerous combination for the teams to do.
Really, too, is assistant Paul Clement. He's worked with Carlo Ancelotti before. And again, a golf with him once in fashion. Not surprisingly, most people do. Taken quickly, Ferguson to play it down, touch of crowd a little bit. And he's worked very hard in that midfield, he really has, I think. But it's Ferguson today. Will Scotland do a score now? Normally it's well, just a consolation. It isn't. Not in this situation, the way this World Cup is constructed. One goal could be a crucial thing for their goal difference. Wasn't Atlas Wilson was closing in and they couldn't quite get there. Ball on their foot. Bringing Dino Irish as he did the key defending. And you still might be belting out that song. Yes, sir, I can do the Scottish fans when they've got over the disappointment. Vinicius. Scotland have been trying to improve their goal difference for the late rally. But they've been denied a couple of times now by Allison in trying to do that. But it's a game really where Brazil have coasted towards the points that are going to take them top of this group. And that's particularly